I'm about to be completely frank with you. What I'm going to share is not something your father whispered to you at bedtime. It's not the lesson your teachers drilled into your brain at school. It's not the kind of truth society wants you to grasp. In fact, most men will live and die completely oblivious to this knowledge, and that's exactly how the powers that be prefer it. Because once you hear what I'm about to disclose, there's no going back. It's knowledge that will divide your life into two clear sections: the time before you understood it and the time after. Half a millennium ago, a man named Machiavelli recorded some of the most perilous truths ever known about human nature. So incendiary that the Catholic Church banned his book. So potent that kings, presidents, CEOs, and generals have privately studied his work, even while publicly denouncing it. Why? Because Machiavelli didn't concoct theories. He wrote the manual for how humans truly operate, not how we pretend to function, nor how we wish we did, but the raw reality. And here's the part that shall send a chill down your spine. Those who already understand these truths wield them against you every day, in boardrooms, in personal relationships, in political arenas, and on the battlefield. They're playing chess while you're still stuck with checkers. So ask yourself, why didn't your father impart this knowledge? Why did your teachers keep silent? The reason is simple. Their fathers didn't teach them either. Society has also conditioned you to believe that seeing the world clearly means cynicism, that strategy means manipulation, and that understanding power means evil. But here's the bitter truth. Ignorance is not a virtue, it's a weakness. And starting right now, I'm going to empower you. I'm going to make you formidable. Once these truths take root, you'll never perceive human interaction the same way again. Before we dive deeper, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because what I'm about to reveal will change your worldview forever. You won't want to miss what's coming. You've been told all your life that humans are rational beings, that we weigh options, calculate outcomes, and act logically. This is a lie, one of the most dangerous lies ever fed to you. Machiavelli saw through it 500 years ago when he wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand. For everyone can see, and few can feel." Translation: people decide based on appearances, illusions, and what seems right, rather than what truly is right. Here's the dark reality. Most people don't want the truth. They seek comfort. Think about it. The friend who begs for advice on a troubled relationship, but ignores your honest counsel because the truth stings. The colleague who laments financial woes while dumping money on daily luxuries just for the comforting ritual. The woman who claims she desires a good man, but repeatedly gets drawn to the one who treats her as an afterthought. Logic dies the moment it confronts desire. Reason fades when faced with fear, lust, pride, or comfort. That is the game. And you've been losing because you were told to win over others with facts, to triumph in arguments with evidence, to lead people down a rational path. But facts don't sway people. Emotions do. The man who masters emotions, who bypasses logic and speaks directly to the heart, commands every room he enters. He wastes no time proving he's right. Instead, he makes others feel he's right. And that is unimaginably more powerful. Consider the greatest manipulators in history. Hitler didn't ascend through spreadsheets and statistics. He rose with speeches that fanned flames of anger, fear, and hope. Corporations don't rake in billions by showing chemical formulas. They sell dreams bottled as happiness. Religions don't spread through philosophical debates. They grow by capturing hearts, souls, fears of damnation, and promises of paradise. This is why your arguments fall flat. This is why your advice goes ignored. This is why the people you want to influence slip away. Because you assumed people were rational. They're not. They're addicts chasing emotions. Here's your first dark lesson. Stop trying to convince others with facts. Start shaping their feelings. Want followers. Don't tell them what's good for them. Show them what makes them feel good. Want to influence a partner. Don't challenge reason. Make them feel the pain of losing you or the joy of pleasing you. Want to dominate in business? Forget data. Spin the story that makes your audience believe you're destined to win. The man wielding facts is a teacher. The man mastering emotions is a king. And once you grasp this, you see everyone's masks, the politician's smile, the influencer's brand, the co-worker's excuses. All are shields to protect feelings, not reveal truth. But once you see the mask, once you understand that every action is driven by an emotion, a weakness, a hunger, you hold the strings. And that's only the beginning. Because if humans are irrational, then loyalty itself must be an illusion. Machiavelli's next warning. There are only two kinds of men, predators and prey. Plain and simple. Strip away politeness, politics, morality, and what remains is nature's oldest law. The strong take, the weak are taken from. And here's the cruel secret. Weakness doesn't just fail. It invites predators like blood attracts sharks. Think about it. Why do bullies pick on the quiet kid instead of the one who fights back? Why do companies cut the weakest employees first? Why do women leave the man who yields but cling to the one who stands firm? Because predators hunt the easiest target. Machiavelli captured this truth. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Not because fear is noble, but because fear keeps wolves away. Love without strength invites betrayal. Fear without love commands survival. Now here's the sinister truth most men miss. Weakness doesn't merely destroy you, it corrupts those around you. A weak man forces others to carry his burden. A weak man leeches from the strong until they either cut him loose or collapse with him. Weakness makes the world harsher for everyone, because predators don't stop at one victim. They hunt for the next. This is why weakness is deadlier than cruelty. The cruel at least stand alone. The weak become black holes, dragging others down. Yet society preaches softness, tells you to embrace your weakness, to be sensitive, to be a better man. But the truth, a man who cannot defend himself, his family, or his honor, is not a man. He is a liability. Strength isn't optional, it's survival. Once you accept this, the world transforms. Every encounter becomes a test. Who's predator? Who's prey? Who's strong enough to set the rules? Who blindly follows? This is why women instinctively chase strength. They know weakness can't protect them. Why leaders rise. They wield power because people obey strength rather than crumble under weakness. Now it's your choice, predator or prey. Your father, your teachers, your mother, they all told you, be nice, agreeable, don't rock the boat, don't upset anyone, and people will like you. They lied. Machiavelli knew centuries ago, men are so simple and so prone to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims for his deceptions. See the truth? People mistake weakness for goodness, obedience for virtue, niceness for value. That's why women say they want nice men, but end up with rule breakers. Why companies praise team players, but promote ruthless strategists. Why the world rewards bad boys, tyrants, sharks. Because nice isn't good. Nice avoids conflict out of fear. Nice says what pleases others to be liked. Nice seeks approval, craving scraps of validation. Good is different. Good starts the tough conversation no one else dares. Good speaks hard truths that discomfort others. Good stands firm in principle even if hated. Nice guys chase approval. Good men earn respect. And here's the harsh reality. Women don't respect the nice guy. Bosses don't trust him. Friends don't follow him. Because niceness without strength is just weakness disguised. And weakness is repulsive. Look at history's greatest leaders, Caesar, Alexander, Napoleon. They could be generous, sure. Merciful, too. But only if it served their power. Never at the cost of strength. Look at today's power players. CEOs, presidents, champions. They're not nice. They're just and fair. They protect their own, but don't fold for approval. Don't tremble from rejection. Don't fear being disliked. That's why they lead. You can be kind without weakness. You can be good without niceness. But you cannot earn respect without strength. Strength wrapped in kindness is magnetic. Weakness masked by niceness is poison. Remember this. Stop seeking to be liked. Demand respect. Because when the choice is between fear, love, and being ignored, the worst fate is to be ignored. Your father probably told you loyalty is everything. Be loyal to friends, family, company, partner. But Machiavelli saw reality. Since love and fear rarely coexist, if one must be chosen, it is safer to be feared than loved. Read that twice. It's safer to be feared than loved. Why? Because love is fragile, conditional, loyal only when it serves the lover. You've seen this play out. The friend who calls only when needing something. The company preaching family until layoffs hit. The partner who wants your commitment but keeps options open. This isn't loyalty. It's exploitation masquerading as loyalty. Most men never grasp this. Loyalty without mutuality isn't noble. It's weakness. A man who gives loyalty to those who don't reciprocate isn't virtuous. He's a fool. And fools get used. Think about the most powerful men you know. Not pretenders, but those truly in control. Are they blindly loyal? Do they stay after betrayal, after disrespect, after being taken advantage of? Number, they're strategically loyal. They know loyalty is a contract. When it's broken, all bets are off. Here's the brutal truth. Loyalty isn't blind obedience. It's a wolf who walks with worthy allies and shows teeth when betrayed. Machiavelli saw kings stabbed by trust. Leaders who thought love was protection only to be eaten by loyalty breakers. Nothing's changed. Workplaces, markets, homes. Loyalty exists only as long as it serves a purpose. How should you use this? Be generous with loyalty. Be ruthless in withdrawing it. Test people. Watch who stands in your storms, not just sunshine. Never keep giving to those who drain you. A man who demands loyalty but never gives it is a tyrant. A man who keeps giving it without return is a slave, and slaves get broken. Here's your second dark lesson. Never waste loyalty on those who can't or won't return it. Because loyalty without reciprocity isn't love. It's weakness, and weakness is devoured. This begs a terrifying question. If love and loyalty are fragile, what truly defends a man? What shields him from betrayal, exploitation, and abandonment? Machiavelli's cold answer. Not love, not loyalty, reputation. A man without reputation is already dead. He just doesn't realize it. Machiavelli said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." In other words, your real self matters less than how others perceive you. Most men fail by thinking authenticity means total transparency. They overshare fears, doubts, weaknesses, crying about being misunderstood, and then wonder why respect eludes them. Here's the harsh truth. The world doesn't reward the real you. It rewards the strategic you. Your reputation is your armor against betrayal, a sword cutting lies, a shadow announcing your presence. With a strong reputation, enemies hesitate. With a weak one, friends doubt. Look at history. Alexander the Great conquered by myth as much as might. He spread legends of invincibility. Enemies feared battle before it began. Today, Steve Jobs built Apple, but also a formidable aura, a reality distortion field that swayed investors, employees, rivals alike. Contrast that with men who complain constantly and desperately try to explain themselves. They earn no respect, only pity. The final dark lesson. Perception is reality. If you don't control your perception, someone else will. Want to seem competent? Never moan about problems. Offer solutions. Want to be valuable? Don't be too available. Scarcity breeds worth. Want to seem powerful? Don't explain your moves to those who don't affect your life. This is strategic authenticity, showing only what serves your goals. Reputation is fire. Left loose, it dies. Burned too fiercely, it destroys you. And once tarnished, it may never recover. Guard it more fiercely than money or relationships, for it is your gateway to power. Without it, you are exiled. But reputation alone isn't enough. There will always be those who envy it, who seek to shatter it. And this brings Machiavelli's next warning. War is unavoidable. It can only be postponed, never permanently avoided. Most think peace is the default and war the exception. Machiavelli knew the opposite. War is never avoided. It is only delayed to the benefit of others. Conflict is constant, silent, subtle, lurking in the shadows. The only question, are you prepared or will you be consumed? Your life is a battlefield. In your career, rivals watch your every move, waiting for a misstep. In relationships, there is always another man poised to take your place. In social circles, people test your limits, pushing to see when you'll break. The harsh truth. If you're unprepared, you've lost. The successful are not surprised by conflict. They expect it. They train for it, prepare during calm to avoid bleeding in war. A warrior sharpens his blade daily, even in peace. How does this look around you? Businesses stacking cash, crushing competition before growth. Amazon, for example. Nations building arsenals, brokering alliances, spying even under peace treaties. In your life, the man who stays fit when no threats loom, saves when money flows, builds alliances when not needed, he survives storms. Machiavelli gave the animal metaphor. The lion cannot guard against traps. The fox cannot fend off wolves. One must be fox and lion. Clever yet weak dies. Strong yet blind falls. The man with both is untouchable. His rule: don't provoke war, but be ready to end every battle. The cruel paradox weak men never grasp. The man prepared for war rarely fights. Why? Because predators always attack the weakest. So become the man no one dares challenge. Not out of recklessness or violence, but because you radiate readiness. Train unseen. Save unseen. Study while others waste time. Forge yourself a weapon long before battle begins. When war comes, you'll face it with calm, not panic. But despite strength, cunning, reputation, and readiness, many fall because they confuse niceness with strength. That is the final myth your father told you. People imagine honesty always wins, that truth always prevails. Integrity conquers all. Fairy tale. Deception has built empires, toppled rulers, shaped history more than honesty. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince never lacks legitimate reasons to break his promises. Not some men lie, not only villains betray, every leader, every ruler, everyone with power will deceive. Because deception is survival. Look to nature. The fox feigns weakness to trap prey. The snake camouflages before the strike. The anglerfish lures victims with a glowing bait. Humans behave no differently. Politicians sell false dreams. Corporations market poison as joy. Even at home, promises fade when cost arises. Yet most cling to the illusion honesty will save them. Fools. Machiavelli knew better. The deceiver never lacks victims because men want comforting lies. Here's the cold truth. Refusing to deceive doesn't protect you. You'll be deceived anyway. Refusing to play means you become a pawn in someone else's game. Does this mean lying endlessly, cheating, betraying? Number, that's foolishness. It means mastering the art of calculated deception. Wearing masks, hiding knives, revealing enough to keep others blind. The world rewards strategic honesty, not pure honesty. Tell the truth when it serves you. Lie when it shields you. Break promises when keeping them would destroy you. Never forget, everyone else is already doing this. Here's the law no one admits. The honest man isn't noble. He's prey. Your whole life you've been taught morality is absolute. Good versus evil. Righteous rewarded. Wicked punished. Machiavelli saw it differently. Morality is control. Who decides good? Not you or the masses, the powerful. Rulers call obedience virtue. Leaders call sacrifice honor. Elites define evil as threats. The masses accept it, believing in an ordered universe where justice wins. But history spits on this. The church burned innocence in morality's name. Slavery, conquest, genocide, justified by morality. Modern states bomb cities claiming freedom. Morality isn't truth, it's narrative, and those who control the narrative control morality. The darker truth. The powerful rarely obey their own moral rules. They create rules for you. They condemn lying yet lie daily. Condemn ruthlessness, but crush rivals. Preach selflessness while hoarding wealth, because fixed morality breeds submission, self-policing, control. Meanwhile, the powerful break rules when needed. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince must learn how not to be good and use or avoid this skill as necessity demands. This is the real law. Don't reject morality. Wield it. Appear good when it benefits you. Break morality when survival demands it. Never become prisoner of another's code. The man clinging to morality at all costs is a pawn. The one bending morality to his will is a king. Every empire, company, family, relationship runs on the same hidden economy. Not money, love, or honor. Fear and reward." Machiavelli grasped this brutally. Men are moved not by ideals, but sensations, the hunger for pleasure, fear of pain. Strip away politics, religion, morality. You find fear and reward everywhere. Kings keep crowns because their wrath is feared, more than their rule hated. Corporations keep workers in line with carrot and whip. Parents raise children with rewards and punishments. This is power's true currency. Look around. Politicians promise safety with tax breaks. Preachers promise heaven while warning hell. Lovers punish then reward affection. These are ancient tactics. Most fail because they offer only one side. Lead with endless love, lose value. Rule with cruelty, spark rebellion. Machiavelli's secret, balance the two. Withhold affection to create hunger. Reward at desire's peak. This makes loyalty chains stronger than iron. Think abuse victims staying, because after cruelty comes kindness. Think tyrants lasting decades, punishing enough to inspire fear, but rewarding enough to prevent despair. Now reflect, how do you influence others? By constant giving hoping for love, or cold control, enforcing obedience. Both are weak. The true Machiavellian blends both, crafting dependency so escape is impossible. Ask yourself, what does my target most fear losing? What do they crave most? How do I control both? Answer this, and you own them. People treat trust like stone, unbreakable. Machiavelli knew better. Trust is glass. It shines, reflects light, but shatters when cracked. First dark law. Trust is temporary. It lasts only as long as it benefits both. Think, how quickly did trust vanish when you failed someone? How soon did you doubt a leader after betrayal? How many bonds ruined over one broken word? This is normal. Building life on trust is building on glass. Eventually, it breaks. Here's how strong differ from weak. Weak plead for trust, make vows, beg for belief. When shattered, they crumble. Strong engineer trust. They build it carefully through image, repetitive actions, controlled reveals. Trust is a tool, never foundation. Think con artists. They survive not by being truly honest, but by seeming so. Think politicians. They don't need genuine trust, just enough to win votes. Think seducers. They don't require unconditional trust, just enough to lower walls. Second dark law. Trust must be convincing, not real. Third law, even darker. The man who trusts blindly is easier to control than the man who trusts nothing. Because blind trust hands attackers keys to destruction. It forgives betrayal, believes empty words, clings to illusions long dead. Fear of losing trust keeps men weak, preyed upon. This is why weak men perish. They think trust equals love, honor, morality. Truth, trust is leverage. Those who understand this hold the leash. Memorize this. Never rely on trust. Use it, manipulate it, but don't depend on it. Trust is glass, made to shatter. You've glimpsed realities most men won't see. Humans aren't rational. Loyalty without reciprocity is weakness. Reputation is sharper than steel. War is constant. Niceness is weakness in disguise. Fear outlasts love. Deception is survival. Masks are necessary. Morality is cage. Betrayal is inevitable. Fear and reward govern control. Trust, clung to by many, is a fragile illusion. You weren't supposed to know this. You were taught to be blind, obedient, safe, harmless. But now, the blindfold is off. You see the world as it truly is. Here's the most dangerous part. You can't go back. You cannot unlearn these truths. From now on, every smile is a mask. Every promise, bait. Every act of virtue, a strategy. You've entered the darkness. Once in darkness, the light no longer blinds. So it's no longer a question if you will learn these truths. You have. Now the question is if you'll use them, because knowledge like this is a weapon. In weak hands, it breeds paranoia. In strong hands, power. If you're strong enough, carry it forward. If weak, bury it deep and forget I spoke. For those ready for the abyss, this is just the start. Machiavelli left more than warnings. He gave blueprints for influence, dominance, survival. I'll reveal each one. Want more? Like and subscribe. The next lesson won't be comfortable. It'll make you untouchable. And when that happens, you'll never be ignored.